Hello and welcome to my review of the Black Templars High Marshal Helbrecht model from Games Workshop, which will cost you £29. The kit is pretty big actually. They've done well to squeeze the two sprues into this sort of thick box. So 39 plastic components and you get the 60mm round base. He's accompanied by the two attendant thralls. One of them just carries his powerful combi melter called Ferocity, and the other one wipes clean the sword of the High Marshals. Pretty good for £29, I have to say. When we were living in the era of Primaris Captains and Primaris Ancients being £23.50 for an extra £5.50 to get, well, a big scenic base and like 3 additional models, really, if you count the dead orc, which I do. I mean, you know, it's nice to get a new orc boy and get the Black Templars models for free with it. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a little look at Helbrecht himself. I haven't glued these parts onto the base, and I strongly suggest you don't either until you've sprayed and painted them. So here's Helbrecht. You get a number of options with him, different heads. If you check out my unboxing video, then you will see the additional heads that you get. You get him with his sort of cross on his forehead, with his mouth kind of open. You get one in a different pose as well, sort of grimacing, and then you get the helmeted head, which kind of looks like a Crusader helm. It looks pretty cool, but let's have a look at what we've got here. Loads of detail. He's holding his little lantern type thing. The sword is pretty nice, and it's very, very similar to the thick sword of the normal High Marshal. I just think that the grip is a bit longer, and the power capacitor or whatever goes further up the blade. But yeah, the helmet's pretty decent. He's got all of these scrolls and things. One thing I will say is he doesn't have an awkward purity seal scroll on the back like the High Marshal does, that's just strange and not really needed, and there isn't a hole to put that in anyway. So that's good. It's very clean looking. It's got the Templar symbols. The power plant has some chains, a little shield on there, and then you've got the 2 candles and this big sort of, and he's also got this skull type iron halo thing on the top, which is a bit of a pain to clean up. But that's Helbrecht himself. Very different to you know, the previous one. He's crossed the Rubicon. He's bigger. He's you know, very different to the old school one. Not sure if you prefer this newer one. Then you've got the attendants. This one here, this is Attendant Thrall. There's been so many memes with him polishing all kinds of things. I would just probably search that up on the internet, but he's quite cool polishing his sword. And then you've got this Attendant Thrall that has the powerful combi melter called Ferocity. It's even got like a drum magazine on it. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I always like it when Games Workshop create like new plastic servitors or thralls or something like that. I always you know, would like to see more of it. And then we've got the scenic base itself right here. So you've got a load of stonework and some skeletons and some skulls, and then you've got this dead orc, which you kind of have to put on the base for the sword to sort of work, but that just fits there. Like I said before, probably best taking this off, painting him, and then when you're ready, gluing him on. So you know, you can get to all the detail and things, which is what I've done, ready to spray and paint. So that's the big base, nice 60mm base there, and he just pops on like that through the orc's chest, and then this little thrall polishes his sword, and this thrall is carrying his weapon. So decent looking model. If you've got Black Templars, this one really is a must. Let's go through some size comparisons then. So I've got the Castellan because I've just been reviewing him. Oh, that thrall is drunk. But yeah, compared to any of the other Black Templars models, other than say like the Redempted Dreadnought, he's going to be the tallest out of all of them. He's taller than Grimoldus and the Banner Bearers and things. Your High Marshal will kind of give him a run for his money because the sword is similar height to the Iron Halo, but you know, all intents and purposes, Helbrecht is standing on this big scenic base. I mean, that is what you call a tactical rock, right? Normal Black Templars Primaris, so he's going to stand over, so he's going to stand tall compared to any of your Black Templars really, and be a bit of a target as well. Traditional size comparisons then, with the 3 models I usually work with, much bigger than the Primaris, way bigger than Slimarbo, and of course absolutely dwarfs the normal sort of firstborn Space Marines as well. So hope those size comparisons have sort of cemented how big Helbrecht is compared to, you know, the rest of the Space Marines in your collection. Of course, what I'll do now is I will just go through all of his rules. Unlike the Castellan, Helbrecht does have his own rules, so I'll just flip to those in the Black Templars Codex supplement, you call it. It's not like a full codex, it doesn't have all of the Space Marine rules, but just reading from the data sheet, he's a power points cost of an 8 and a points cost of 160 points. So it's quite pricey. He's up there with more than the price of a 5-man Sword Brethren unit, for instance, and 20 points more expensive than Grimoldus, to put it like that. Or if we wanted to compare him to the Emperor's Champion, is 60 points more than an Emperor's Champion. So more than 50% more. So his stat line reads, he's a movement of 6 inches, his weapon skill is 2+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, toughness 4, 8 wounds, 6 attacks, leadership 9, and a save of 2+. He's equipped with ferocity, attendant thralls, fists, sword of the High Marshals, frag grenades, crack grenades. Your army can only include 1 High Marshal Helbrecht model. So ferocity, which is his combi melter. Well, it's like a melter gun and bolt rifle all in one, actually. It's got the bolt rifle rule, so that's a 30-inch, rapid fire 2, strength 5, AP -1, damage 1, which is fantastic, you know, to have it at rapid fire 2 at the 30 inches with the AP -1, very decent. The melter gun side works as usual. It's a 12-inch range, assault 1, strength 8, AP -4, and a damage of D6 +2, so potentially damage 8 there. And as always, because it's a combi weapon, you can select one profile or the other, but if you select both, then you're subtracting 1 from the attack's hit roll, which, you know, going from 2+ to a 3+ with a one-shot melter gun might not be the best course of action. You've got the attendants thralls fists, which are the 2 dudes either side. The strength 3, AP 0, damage 1. Each time the bearer fights, it makes 2 additional attacks with this weapon, and no more than 2 attacks can be made with this weapon. So you're getting your 2 attacks, nothing to write home about. I would have thought they would have been like strength 4 or 5 at least, because of the little like power claw hand things. And then you've got the sword of the High Marshals. You've got 2 profiles, and you select 1 each time you fight. You've got the one-handed, which is a strength +2, which would be strength 6, AP -3, damage 1, and each time attack is made with this weapon, you make 2 hit rolls instead of 1. So that's great. You're going to be, you know, you've got 12 hits there. You've got 12 attacks there. Two-handed, your times in the strength by 2, so that's strength 8, AP -3, and a damage of 3, straight up, no messing. You got your 6 strength 8 attacks there. Abilities, Angels of Death, and then Crusade of Wrath. It's an aura ability. While a friendly Black Templars core unit is within 6 inches of this model, add 1 to the strength characteristic of models in that unit. Rites of Battle aura. While a friendly Black Templars core unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, re-roll a hit roll of 1. Chapter Master. In your command phase, select 1 friendly Black Templars core or Black Templars character unit within 6 inches of this model. Until the start of your next command phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can re-roll the hit roll. Very, very decent. And then finally, he's got the Iron Halo, which gives him a 4+ invulnerable. So 2+ normal, 4+ invulnerable, 8 wounds, pretty good. Keywords, Imperium, Adeptus Astartes, Black Templars, Infantry character Primaris, Chapter Master, High Marshal Helbrecht. So there you go. High Marshal Helbrecht has crossed the Rubicon. He is a Primaris. He's got the decent bolt rifle melter gun weapon called Ferocity. He's got the Sword of the High Marshals. He's got the Aura ability, which is adding once to the strength characteristic of models within 6 inches of him. Other models can also reroll hit rolls of 1, and you can also reroll hit rolls as well, him being the chapter master. So he's a good buff for rerolling hits. He's adding strength to your units, and he's pretty decent in close combat as well. But what do you guys think of the model, the rules? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below as always. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.